नित्यं भागवत सेवा भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे Text 16. To enjoy your pastime, you manifest yourself in various forms in this material world, and this incarnation cleans away all the unhappiness of those who joyfully chant your glories. I offer my obeisances to you, the cause of the creation, Lord Mastya, who swam about in the ocean of dissolution, to Lord Hayagriva, the killer of Madhu and Kaitava, to the immense tortoise, Lord Kurma, who supported Mandara mountain, and to the boar incarnation, Lord Baraha, who enjoyed lifting the earth. Obeisances to you, the amazing lion, Lord Narshima, who removed your saintly devotee's fear, and to the dwarf Vamana, who stepped over the three worlds. Obeisance to you, Lord of the Brigus, who cut down the forest of the concited royal order, and to Lord Rama, the best of the Raghu dynasty, who put an end to the demon Ravana. Obeisance to you, Lord of the Sattvas, and to your forms of Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Obeisance to your form as the faultless Lord Buddha, who will bewilder the Daityas and Danava, and to the Lord Kalki, the annihilator of the meat-eater, posing as kings. O Supreme Lord, the living entities in this world are bewildered by your illusory energy, becoming involved in the false concept of I and my. They are forced to wander along the path of the pretty work. I too am deluded in this way. O Almighty Lord, foolishly thinking my body, children, home, wife, money, and followers to be real, though they are actually as unreal as a dream. Thus mistaking the temporary of the eternal, my body for myself, and source of misery for sources of happiness. I have tried to take pleasure in material dualities, covered in this way by ignorance. I could not recognize you as the real object of my love. Just as a fool overlooks a body of water covered by the vegetation growing in it and chased as a mirage, so I have turned away from you. My intelligence is so crippled that I cannot find the strength to curb my mind, which is disturbed by material desire and activities and constantly dragged here and there by my obstinate senses. Text 28. Being thus fallen, I am approaching your feet for shelter, O Lord, because although the impure can never attain your feet, I think it is nevertheless possibly by your mercy, only when one's material life has ceased. O lotus navel Lord, can one develop consciousness of you by serving your pure devotees? Text 29. Obeisance to the Supreme Absolute Truth, the possessor of unlimited energy. He is the embodiment of pure transcendental knowledge, the source of all kinds of awareness, and the predominator of the forces of nature that rule over the living being. Text 30. O son of Vasudeva, obeisance to you, within whom all living beings reside, O Lord of the mind and senses. Again I offer you my obeisances. O Master, please protect me, who am surrendered unto you. Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna, dear Sri Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Yeah, whenever you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Sundran Prabhu. Thank you, Hemangi Mataji, for reading Srimad Bhagavatam today. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Sikshashtamekam Purusha Puranam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Saridhari Krupam Mudittamaham Prapadye Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langete girim yatkrupa tamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So in the last section, we have seen that when Akrura was taking Krishna and Balram to Mathura, so on the way of Mathura, he was stopping on banks of Yamuna. So, so the Brahmanas, they do Trisandhya, like so 3 times the day they do prayers, right? They do Gayatri mantra and all the prayers. So when they do prayers, they also take bath. So Yamuna River is so auspicious. So he was stopping at the Yamuna River, so he could actually Krishna and Balram also can actually do their evening duties. So now Akrura, after stopping, he was basically first Krishna and Balram they go, and then they come back to the chariot. Now Akrura takes permission. He goes to Yamuna River to take bath. So while he goes to Yamuna River, he also sees Krishna and Balram there. So he was surprised. And then he came back to the chariot and he saw, am I dreaming or is it real? And then he saw Krishna and Balram were sitting on the chariot also. And then again he went back to the Yamuna River. Now he wasn't seeing the form of Krishna and Balram, but actually he was seeing the Lord Vishnu in the Vaikunta, along with all the paraphernalia. So his entire beautiful appearance is also described here, just like Bhishmadev describes when he was leaving his body, when Krishna came, he was also describing the beautiful form of the Lord, as devotees relish in Vaikunta. So this form, it was as described by Akrura. So like it has wonderful features, just like Bhishmadev says. Sashanka Chakram, Sakirita Kundalam, Sapita Vastram, Sarasiryekshanam, Sahara Vakshastala Kaustubastriyam, Namami Vishnum, Sirasha Chaturbhujam. So he's also seeing all the associates of the Lord, like Prahlad Maharaj, Narada Muni, and Sri, so here Sri signifies Lord's Mother Lakshmi, Bhudevi, Sri Devi, all of them, everyone were actually there present with the Lord. And so Akrura was extremely pleased and he was such a beautiful darshan. Lord is actually bestowing his mercy. And Akrura had this fear like, oh, I'm taking Krishna and Balram. They were just young boys, Kamsa is so cruel. What am I doing? Even though he's, because of his bhakti, intense devotion, he had this bhava, it's basically to protect the Lord. So we cannot really protect the Lord, but we have that bhava. We can have that, exhibit that emotion. So Akrura was exhibiting that emotion. So Lord wanted to pacify Akrura, okay, that actually I can handle Kamsa. So now Lord is giving the universal form darshan. So he gave him a universal form, which Akrura is describing in this chapter 40. So in this chapter, the whole chapter is basically after getting the darshan of the Lord, Akrura is pouring his heart and so many wonderful prayers. So all of these prayers, this is one of the prayers where we can also recite and just like the other prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. So today, starting from verse number 16, Akrura is describing about the Lord takes unlimited forms, just like Brahmaji says, uh, Ramadimurti Shukalaniyamena Tistan Nana Avataram Akurod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishnastu Swayam Sambhavat Paramapumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So beginning from Rama, there are unlimited forms that Lord takes, and all of that forms are divine. And Brahmaji says that Krishnastu Swayam Sambhavat Paramapumanyo, but Lord Krishna, you are actually your your own, the original form you came, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he's paying obeisance. So similarly, here also, Akrura is glorifying the Lord. How? Yani harupani kridamanartham bibarshihi. So he was saying that how you come in the various forms in the material world, so many incarnations. And what is the purpose? He comes for the purpose of removing the unhappiness of those who chant Lord's glories. All of these forms, they have certain certain glories, certain pastimes. When Lord comes, he comes in various incarnations as Leela Avatar, Purush, and then Lord Krishna is actually Leela Avatar. He Rama is also Leela Avatar. Like that, Lord comes in various forms for performing certain pastimes. He also comes as Purusha avatars, and there are so many Avesh avatars, so many different ways the Lord appears. But in every form, there is some glories that we can chant His glories. When we chant, what happens? Muda gayanti te yashaha. When we chant His glories, and all the unhappiness will be cleansed. Amrushta suchaha. So it's like clean of all the unhappiness in this material world. So now Akrura is beginning to describe, there are so many incarnations, but Akrura is describing some predominant incarnations like Matsya Avatar, Kurma Avatar, Varaha Avatar, Vamana Avatar, and then Narsimha Avatar, and then Bhrigu, Parashuram, Lord Parashuram Avatar, and also he's also describing about Lord Buddha and Kalki Avatar also. So these are some avatars that so here Akrura is glorifying. And these are all wonderful prayers. In the he's also saying how the Lord is comes in different forms of Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. Sattvatam Pataye Namaha. So he is basically the forms of the mode of goodness, pure goodness. So glorifying all these different incarnations, the Akrura is now remembering how the Lord is behind the Lord. Just like Vyasudeva was seeing behind the Lord, the Maya Devi was personally standing there. So Akrura is also describing. So Maya Devi here, he's saying that Bhagavan Jiva Loka Ayam Mohitastava Mayaya Aham Mameti Ashadgraho. So this word Aham Mameti was also Rishabdev Maharaj also says. So Aham Mameti means like me and mine. And Prabhupada also says in the Bhagavad Gita introduction, this whole illusion comes down to one thing, me and mine. So just that when that conception goes away, then we come to the conception of I am just instrument. I am just actually cooperating with the Lord. Actually, Lord is the master of everything. So I am the master of everything. I am the enjoyer. Everything revolves around me. This is the illusion. So, and then Prabhupada says that when we come to the realization of the Lord, how Lord Krishna is actually maintaining everything, then we understand that we are actually just cooperating with the Lord. So in this whole creation, we are cooperating. So when we cooperate with the Lord, we also take part in this in this glories glorifying Him. We also relish. We also take bliss, just like devotees relish. So here Akrura is saying the same. Aham mameti asat graha. Asat meaning basically the false or temporary conception of life. So when Rishwadev Maharaj says, he says, this whole the whole Aham mameti starts by uh, when we actually stri, like when we marry, the stri means expansion. When we marry, and then we have children, and then we expand, and then we expand with properties, lands, so many paraphernalia. Then the whole thing expands, me and mine. So this conception of now I have all of this. This belongs to me. That's the whole conception is forcing us to wander. Brahmyeti karma mashu. So we are actually wandering in this, the whole cosmic manifestation up and down. This is basically a network of fruitive work. So that's what here Akrura is saying. Karma vart mashu. So network of fruitive work. Just like a spider makes the web, it is so intricate. We also make it by using our fruitive activities. So when we do something, there is a fruit, we have to accept it. And that fruit comes, the more, either more fruits will come in the form of pain and pleasure. So all of that we have to accept, and finally we have to accept another body also. So like that, Akrura was and trying to expand on this. So similar to what Rishvadev Maharaj says, this aham mameti concept is starts from body, and then it goes to children, home, wife, money, followers, so on and so on and so on. So and then aham aham cha atmaja agara dhara artha swajana adishu brahmani. So he was saying, so dhara is another meaning for wife. So artha, wealth, swajana, followers, and so on and so on. Brahmani means Brahmami is like deluding, it's and then swapna kalpeshu. So this is just like a dream. We just expand our possessions, me and mine conception. And but ultimately, what is this? Moodha satya diya vibhuhu. So he's saying that, oh Lord, actually, all of this are actually a dream or unreal. So it's so now Akrura was again elaborating on this conception of Maya. So he's basically Akrura is now coming to understanding that how the Lord's glories are so unlimited, and people in the material world can take pleasure in Lord's glories and pastimes, but they're suffering so much. He's contemplating, and by this contemplation, all of this knowledge is coming out. So here he's saying that he is personally feeling, he's also feeling that actually my body for myself. He's just taking, I am mistaken this temporary body as myself, and this is actually the sources of misery. Anit Anityanatma dukkeshu. So this temporary body is so much for misery, but I mistook that to be myself. So this is the real knowledge. Prabhupada says, understanding the spirit and matter is actually the real knowledge. So now Akrura understands clearly that he is not this physical body. He is actually spirit soul who is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So and then viparyaya matir hi aham dvandva brahmeshu tamo vishto. So dvandva, the dualities in this material world, we always try to take pleasure in dualities. And most of the people in material world, they think suffering is inseparable part of life, and it has to be taken. So that is their conception of life. So unfortunately, when devotees come and present, there is a way out, but they think it's actually not real. So, but there is a way out of the suffering. There is actually, Prabhupada calls it as um, um, unmixed happiness. So he says, atyantaka dukkha nivriti. So ultimately ending all the unhappiness and going to the unmixed happiness, which is basically the devotional service, which is in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita also. Krishna says, there is a way to overcome these three modes of nature, and one has to take to that unmixed, devotional service, pure devotional service. That way, one can come to that state of without dualities, right? So he's similarly, Akrura is also concluding that he's taking pleasure in material dualities. He tried to take pleasure, but that is actually in ignorance. Tamo vishto. And now, na jane tvam atmanaha priyam. So, Lord, I could not actually recognize you as my real object of love. So it's a very nice contemplation. Now, understanding Akrura that actually the Lord is the real object of love that we can repose our love towards. So, Lord, behind the Lord, the whole creation is there. When we put our emotions and feelings and love towards the Lord, it also reciprocates to other living entities. It is not inclusive, it's not exclusive, it's inclusive. So that we have to understand. This nectar of devotion, Prabhupada makes this point. This is a one light switch that brightens everything. So, sometimes we have this switch when you go to hotels. You just put one switch, everything, all the electricity comes to the whole room. So similarly, this one switch by actually reposing our love towards Lord Krishna, we can love the whole creation. So that is the secret of success. So now Akrura is understanding that, and he is also personally repenting and giving all of us this knowledge. And he's also giving how the example of Mrugat Trishnam, marriage. Like if you go to a desert, the mirage, the sunlight reflection in the sand looks like water, real water. But there could be real water under the grass, under the plants, which we cannot see. But when we see the reflection of sunlight in the sand, it looks like real water. So this is the ideal example of the chasing after something which is not there, and this something also keeps moving. So in the desert, if you go, the mirage will keep moving as you keep moving, and the animals keep going, and they actually die. So similarly here also, yata ad yata abuddha means unintelligent, jalam hitva pratichannam tad udbhavai abedi mrugatrishnam vai tadvatvaham paranmukaha. So paranmukaha means turning away. So we all turned away from the Lord. So Prabhupada says in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Bahirmukha, it says Bahirmukha means we turned away from the Lord. So as soon as we turn towards the Lord is actually waiting for us to reciprocate that way. As we take one step, he takes 10 steps towards us, and he's ready to accept. So when the Mother Lakshmi is very compassionate, Mother Radharani is also very compassionate. So they all always overlook our offenses. So when the Lord says, "Look at him, he has done so many sinful activities," and Mother Lakshmi says, "When was that?" So Mother always overlooks the offenses and completely all of our offenses away, and she looks only positive things. Even if you do one small service, she glorifies and recommends to Krishna. So please accept him. So now Akrura was saying that how his intelligence, he said that his intelligent is abuddha means unintelligence. He was covered by the chasing after the mirage. So now coming to the conclusion, now he's saying because of this crippled intelligence, he could not control his mind, strengthen his mind, which is so much material desires and activities are dragging here and there because of the obstinate senses. So, kama karma hatam manaha rodham pramatibis chakshir kriyamanam itastataha. So, krupanadi, like krupana means a crippled intelligence. So, because of this, what happens? When the intelligence is not sharp, the mind is not really strengthened by the intelligence. The mind cannot be controlled by the intelligence. Because of the weak mind and weak intelligence, the senses take over. And the senses, what they do? they drag here and there just like an obstinate horses. The horses, when they are not controlled, they keep dragging you here and there. So, which is basically the desires in the activities of the material world. So, and then Krura goes on to explain how finally he has approached the shelter of the Lord. Now he is saying, Lord, he is, please accept me. He's putting his, finally, the proposition, Lord, I am now fully surrendered soul. Please accept me. So he's also saying that how it is not possible, um, it is only possible by Lord's mercy. So the word apavarga and pavarga, now here, so Akrura is using that word apavarga, right, which is basically completely ending the material life. So Prabhupada used to always explain that how this material world goes through this cycle of the pavarga, papa bhaba ma. So we do a lot of hard work, parishrama, and then phenila, like this. So much. Sometimes people work hard, the foam comes out of the mouth. So parishrama, phenila, fafa, bha, and then the bhaya. There is so much fear because when we put so much hard work, when the results are not coming, there is fear and there is frustration, and finally there is death, mrutyu, pafa, bhaba, ma. So on the upper varga side, exactly opposite. There is no hard work, there is no frustration, there is no fear, and finally we overcome the death by taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is what here the Akrura is doing. Now he is coming to realize that he is the Lord is the real shelter, and he has taken Lord's shelter by. And he's also saying that only when one's material life is ceased, one can develop consciousness of you or serving your pure devotees. So seizing this material life is nothing but coming to the full consciousness of understanding the Lord's glories. So we have to read, understand Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So that way, through the process of knowledge and bhakti, we cut down the cycle of karmic reactions. So Srimad Bhagavatam is beautifully explaining, and Akrura is also beautifully explaining here. So and finally, the beautiful verses. Namo Vijnana Matraya Sarva Pratyaya Hetava Purushesha Pradhanaya Brahmane Ananta Saktaya. And then Namaste Vasudevaya Sarva Bhuta Shayaya Cha Risikesha Namastubhyam Prapannam Pahimam Prabhu. So he's finally concluding with these two verses, beautiful verses. So where Akrura was saying, he's giving paying obeisances to that Supreme Lord who is possessor of unlimited energies. Here it said um, Purushesha Pradhanayaya. So Ananta Shaktaye. So he has unlimited energies. So Prabhupada also used to say that Lord actually has unlimited energies. So he has Parashtra Shakti Vividaiva Shuyate, but then predominantly we just explain as Bahiranga Shakti, Antaranga Shakti, and Tatashtra Shakti. But then he has unlimited energies that we cannot even understand. So, and he is a person, he is a Purushesha Pradhanaya, he is a predominant, he is the supreme absolute truth. He is here it's mentioned as Pradhanaya is a predominant, Brahmane, supreme absolute truth. So now Akrura also understands that Lord Krishna is the source of all incarnations. So here in this prayers also we can see he has mentioned all of the incarnations, and he understood that Lord Krishna's form is very special. So that is also he is pouring his heart, and he is also saying that how the Lord is embodiment of pure knowledge, bliss. So he is also saying that Satchit Ananda, so that the three potencies of the Lord, he is also understanding. So finally, he is Namaste Vasudevaya. So now, ultimately, he is paying obeisances to Lord Vasudev, Krishna, with the surrendering completely is mind, senses. Again, he's offering obeisances. So, Prapannam Pahimam Prabhu. So, just like Mother Kunti is offering, when offering her prayers, she also finally, completely offers her surrender. Similarly, here also Akrura is offering her obeisances. And he is also saying Sarva Bhuta Shayaya Cha. So now this is also another important point, that he understands that Lord is actually residing within the heart of all living beings. So this feature is only exclusive to Lord Vishnu, who can live in hearts of every living entity. Right. So this is the conclusion of today's verse. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo patitanam Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, devotees.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.